monthly community center update. That'll be part one, and then part two, I'll go right into a conversation about the fun features at the pool. So first of all, again, just reminding everyone that I'm here the first meeting of every month, and this presentation will be available on the website tomorrow. A quick check-in for project schedule. As you can see across the street, we are well into construction. We have actually finished up design, and we have a bid package out on the street right now that will be coming back to you on February 11th. And so what you will see in here for the next year or so is mainly construction-related updates. A great place to see that from above is on our YouTube channel. We do post a monthly video made by McCarthy for us of what's happening at the site. So the December video is up, and those generally get posted around the end of the month. So I encourage you to follow that channel if you don't already. We do have a time-lapse camera up now that has finally been added. So those videos will look a little different moving forward, which should be cool. A quick project look ahead, what's coming in the next couple of months. So they are continuing grading and utilities on the site through February. We have about 2 more weeks of grading to happen on the site. They're taking about 70 to 80 truckloads of dirt off of the site every day right now, which is pretty significant. But we are almost done with that, and then they will move into utilities. Most of that work will happen along the Slater side of the street, but once they get those things wrapped up, we'll be moving the construction entrance over to IKEA Way. They'll have the road network done throughout the site, and so the majority of the construction traffic will happen off of IKEA Way to help us get out of the neighborhood and reduce the number of trucks traveling along Slater. You'll also start seeing foundation work being done in February. If you look at it from above, you can start to see the different pad sites taking shape right now. And then, like I mentioned, we'll be back to the City Council, the first meeting in February, for you all to adopt bid package number 3 and our final GMP for the project. Checking in with the budget, there's not a lot of changes to this right now because we do have the bid package out on the street, but we are on budget for the project right now, and initial results are that bid package number 3 is trending very favorably. We're picking up a lot of benefit to our favor because the airport hasn't started yet, and we're kind of hitting this nice window, which is people are eager to work. They're staffed up. They thought the construction project or the airport project would be out to bid already. It's not, so that seems to be working in our favor, which is really good news. So we're happy to see that. Just a quick update on city-held contracts. We haven't awarded any contracts since the last meeting, so none to report there. We do have an open call for artists right now for art project number 5. Those are the pieces that will be at the community center. There's 2 primary pieces that we're working on, and those call for artists will be due on February 4th. And then the Public Art Committee has a series of meetings to meet with the public art consultant, and then they will be meeting on February 16th for a day-long workshop to help select who moves forward in that process. We do post all of those bids on our Miriam website, so that's a great place to follow, although we are pretty close to procuring all the contracts we need for this project. All right, I'm happy to answer any general questions before we move into the fun features.
So one of the things that I noticed the other day, driving around and looking at the construction site on Friday, the company that we have is cleaning up the street. It's very nice to see that. Are they going to continue to do that when we move over to IKEA Way?
Yes, yeah, it is a requirement that they keep the streets clean around it.
Because I got to tell you,
yeah,
it was nice to see that they were out there with the street sweepers and all of that and cleaning up the road.
Thank you, I'll share that. It is someone's main job right now to just drive up and down the street in the street sweeper because of the number of trucks traveling that road. We did make a change last week that at the end of the week they will start going into just their kind of front approaches to each driveway to clear up that area as well. So they're being very responsive to messes happening on that street that just happened during construction.
It's after the January 1st. So my question prior to that was, how's the tariffs doing?
So tariffs, at the last bid package that we brought to you in December, we locked in our steel price. So we are out of we're out of any threat that the tariffs might pose to us right now because we've already purchased that.
Could I also ask?
Yeah.
It's my understanding, and I think Community Development Director Dyer could help you with, they're actually, the Merriam dirt they're pulling out of there is staying in Merriam. I believe that it is being transferred over to the big ditch on the highway. So they needed dirt, these folks needed to get rid of dirt, so we were able to make a love connection there and benefit both those projects at once. It actually helps the turnaround time, gets these guys in and out quicker, and gets some dirt over in that ditch, so we can hopefully see that developed into something real soon.
Yep. Other questions about the general update?
You can head on to the next one.
All right. So now I'm going to go through the pool fun features. I had shared with you all that this summer that we would be back to the City Council to have this conversation sometime in the end of 2018, early 2019, so we're right on schedule. The design committee meeting met on December 12th to review a number of fun features that could go in the site. It was basically a wide open meeting saying here are some general spaces that we think we might be able to put some fun features. Here's a long list of fun features that we could go in. What do you guys think? What do you guys want? So what I'm going to show to you is their recommendation coming out of that meeting. I'm happy to answer questions or take other points of feedback through this conversation. Some things that we shared with them that need to be considered as part of this conversation. We want to make sure that we have enough features in the pool, but not too many. An interesting component of the pool, like we talked about before, is you have people who want to be in the water, but not necessarily get wet or get splashed or keep their head from being splashed. We have little kids who want to have fun places to play, but not have water pouring on them all the time. Kids who need more quiet than other kids, those sorts of things. And so we want to be mindful of all of that, but particularly in places where you enter and leave the pool. We want to make sure people are really comfortable doing that. We want to make sure at the end of the day that the color and theme coordination occurs between pieces. So what you see on the pictures right now, they may not look like they all match, but we'll adjust for that later on. And then we also have the engineering that has to take place in the background, and we do know now that all of these pieces do work with the pumps and filter and gallons per minute and all of those calculations that have to happen on the back end. But that was one of the caveats we gave the design committee, was that it's impossible to say like you can have one of this and one of this and one of this, because each piece takes a different amount of water. So they put together, the design committee put together a package for the pool designers to take a look at, and we were able to incorporate all of the pieces that they requested, which is great news. And then something else that came up during the design committee conversation was making sure that we can position things in such a way and control the features in such a way to have the opportunity to create a sensory-friendly swim time where noise can be controlled, where pieces can be controlled independently, so you can have quieter times at the pool for kids and people who might benefit from that. So those are all things that we've taken into consideration as part of this conversation. So now I just want to do a quick reminder of the pool layout. We have our, so the outdoor pool. This is a zero depth entry that steps down right here, so it gets gradually deeper, steps down right here into this kind of hip length or hip height water, 3 to 3.5 foot water, comes around into the lap area, and then it gets deeper from here on out, coming from about 3.5 feet, an area of 5 foot-ish standing water, diving water, going to 6 foot, and then all the way to 12 foot water. And then on the inside over here, we have the lazy river, zero depth entry, kind of a fun play area, slides, and then lap lanes. So we'll go into all of these areas individually. So first of all, let's talk about the outdoor pool and the